KRBC Abilene's local news starts right now with breaking news.
Tonight, as we come on the air with this special breaking news edition of KRBC News at 10, buildings burned, acres scorched, hundreds evacuated, but thankfully no lives lost or injuries to speak of. Good evening, I'm Lauren Ailes. Let's get right to those developing fire headlines tonight, standing as a day of the highest level of fire warnings. Those warnings warranted as multiple fires broke throughout the Big Country today. Our powerhouse team of reporters standing by right now from Abilene to Ranger. KRBC's Noah McKinney leads our team coverage tonight with one of the hardest hit areas, Eastland County and Ranger. Noah, a lot of devastation out there. Where are you right now and what is the latest?
Thank you, Lauren. Now, the flames may have died down, but the smoke certainly has not cleared here in Ranger, where, as you can see behind me, the Second Baptist Church, one of 4 buildings to catch fire today. The other one, another church, just all the way across town, burned completely to the ground. Fire crews from Ranger and all surrounding counties and communities have come out to help. Now, if you'll follow me over this way, you can see the other 2 buildings just behind this fire truck. On the other side of it, you'll see an old tire shop. It is smoldering. They are digging through rubble now. Flames still coming up. We're trying to dig away some of the rubble to get to some of those flames. And then over here to my left, you're going to see the old 1980s Ranger Law Enforcement Center. I spoke to the Ranger Fire Chief. He says, though there is no loss of life, the loss of the buildings out here is just heartbreaking.
Well, I've been fire chief here 40 years, and when you have something like this, it hurts. It hurts the whole community. You know, this church has been here for 100 years, you know, and we've been here all that time. And this right here was my first fire station when I first went to work for the city of Ranger. So, you know, a lot of sentimental.
Now, when I spoke to the fire chief, he was saying that this may have been started all from a barbecue pit. So anything you're doing outside that has open flame, anything that's going to have a spark, if there's any chains dragging on the ground, this destruction speaks for itself. It is just not worth it today. Don't do it. They said that right now they're really waiting on a ladder truck to come in all the way from Mineral Wells to try and keep this building, the Second Baptist Church building, from starting up again. They just can't handle it right now, even with all the trucks they have. That's going to do it for us out here. Back to y'all.
Noah, thank you and stay safe. Turning now to a fire intruding into Abilene off Old East Highway 80 in far northwest Abilene. That's where we find KRBC's Kaylee Thomas, who has more on what's happening right now and what led to evacuations earlier today. Kaylee, good evening.
Yes, a day full of fires across the Big Country, including right here in Abilene. As you can see, the scene behind me starting to calm down just a little bit, although we do still have some remaining vehicles, but this was not the case as of this afternoon. Earlier this afternoon, we had several Abilene Fire Department crews here battling this fire. We still do have some remaining, and this was near Old Highway 80. The fire crossed the highway, leaving the median scorched, and this also prompted an evacuation notice for areas south of I-20, north of Military Road, and heading west on Arnold Boulevard. That area included a mobile home park that sits just over to my right as of right now. That evacuation, though, lifted earlier this evening. People can start returning to their homes, even though we are still seeing some embers and hot spots that these crews are continuing to monitor as we head throughout the evening. And although, like I said, things are starting to calm down just a bit, our thoughts do go to tomorrow. Another day of fire weather possible with these ongoing dry and windy conditions that we'll continue to see overnight as well. Here in West Abilene, Kaylee Thomas, back to you guys.
Thank you, Kaylee. Continuing our in-depth coverage in Jones County near Stanford at Avoca, 3 houses were destroyed as flames swept across the area this afternoon. We're told the structures were not occupied and the grass fire may have been caused by electric lines being blown around, sending sparks into the grass and weeds below.
Man, it was crazy. We're actually blessed that the wind was blowing out of the direction it is, or the whole little community of Avoca would have probably been burnt down.
Volunteer fire departments from Jones County were at that scene, while VFDs were working a fire near Noodle in far west Jones County. Now on the other side of Jones County, a fire burning at Noodle, this with additional fire departments from Jones and Taylor counties trying to stop it. Heavy smoke was cutting visibility, and traffic was stopped on FM 126 and FM 1218. The Noodle High School gym, long abandoned, was scorched, with the wind whipping our camera around, showing just one of the issues facing firefighters. And yet another fire our crews captured video of late this afternoon, this one right off Old Anson Road near Anson Avenue in far northwest Abilene. Firefighters were able to quickly extinguish this blaze before it too became out of control. A shed becoming engulfed, where firefighters could be seen working to take the contents outside of it. Old Anson Road near I-20 was shut down for a short time. And new tonight, the Texas A&M Forest Service pleading with the public to practice fire prevention efforts. And you might be wondering, where have all the aviation resources been? Because of today's intense wind conditions, officials telling us planes were grounded. It's days like today with extreme fire weather that can overwhelm these resources.
Just about anything at this point, because once a fire gets started, it's a matter of minutes before it becomes something more than what we can handle.
The Forest Service telling us that even grilling can be dangerous. Other things to watch out for: welding, pulling trailers, and making sure chains are not dragging behind vehicles. Now getting even more perspective for you. This is a look at the map from the Texas A&M Forest Service showing all the fires in Texas, and specifically right here in the Big Country. In addition to all the fires we've already mentioned, there's still several other fires burning right now. Those include additional fires in Eastland County, Brown County, and a fire almost fully contained in Coleman County. Our team is working to monitor all of these fires around the clock. For the very latest on these fires, go to our website, bigcountryhomepage.com. And looking ahead for you right now, while tonight experts tell us the most extreme fire danger is now behind us, we are not yet out of the woods. The Texas Division of Emergency Management saying tomorrow and this weekend could still be dangerous.
Still going to be a bit of a threat tomorrow. We're in what's called the elevated category for tomorrow in the Big Country. And then on Saturday, things may scale back a little bit, but we're still looking at relatively breezy and dry conditions. And then Sunday, it looks like the fire weather danger could ramp up again. So it's going to be kind of up and down as we go through the weekend. Certainly not ideal conditions, but today will be the worst of the next 3 or 4 days.
And the Division of Emergency Management says everyone needs to have a plan in place in case of evacuations, and that includes a go bag. And taking a live look outside from South Abilene, conditions are clearing out, but what the darkness is hiding is a rich haze. Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith monitoring these fire weather conditions. Dylan, good evening.
Good evening, Lauren. Unfortunately, the wind is not our friend when it comes to fire weather conditions. That paired with dew points and relative humidity levels down below 10% this afternoon. It was like lighting a match and just dropping in a barrel of gas, unfortunately, as it really exploded today. And the good news is it will get a little bit less windy tomorrow, but still we have any remaining fires lingering into tomorrow. Dew points and humidity levels drop again tomorrow afternoon. Winds still stay pretty breezy, although they do relax a little bit, especially heading into Saturday, and then they ramp right back up by Sunday. We also have more of a chance of rain, much needed rain, as we move into Sunday and Monday of this weekend and next week. But for now, what's going on other than a lot of wind? That's about the only big thing happening in the Big Country, that and some of those fires that are still raging across parts of the area. 3D Live radar is quiet, not expecting any rain tonight. Winds are staying a little breezy tonight as we stay upwards of 30 to 35 mile an hour gusts. That will not help any situation that involves fire, though, unfortunately. Although humidity levels are rising simply due to cooler temperatures, that will help ever so slightly. 60 degrees outside right now tonight, down into the low to mid 40s. It'll be chilly and breezy tomorrow, cooler than today. We're expecting that cold front to really take effect as we get down into the 60s, and again, winds will gust as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour yet again. So fire weather is still very much a possibility tomorrow, so be careful. Try not to do anything that involves burning anything outdoors. Lauren.
Thank you, Dylan. Coming up on your local news.